Yes, hit that like button, grab a brew. Let's dive into the madness. This is breakfast with Pure Coys. It is terrifying. This is my first ever live stream on my own. I've done videos, obviously shorts. I've done endless live shows with other people, but actually coming here and doing it myself is, I'm not going to lie, terrifying. But I'm here. I've already made my first boo-boo of the morning. I thought I'm going to make myself a nice cup of tea to go with my live show because it is breakfast. And um, put the kettle on, made my tea, um, got it down how I like it, proper builder's tea. And then went to the fridge and realised I used the last of the milk last night on my cornflakes. So good times. No cup of tea, but I have got 3 glasses of water. Guys, thank you for joining me. As always, much love to each and every one of you. Let's get into the news. I don't know whether I'm going to do this again or whether this is going to be a thing that I do. I just thought it was time that I started to go live on my own. You know, like I say, I've done endless Beyond the Lanes with Dan. Big up Dan. I've done loads of stuff with the Two Marks show. Big up the Two Marks and other people as well. And it's been fantastic, but you've always got that backup of somebody with you. Um, so you're never quite alone. Actually coming on here and doing it alone is probably the scariest thing. I would say it's more scary than going to the dentist, and I'm terrified of the dentist. So, guys, thank you for joining me. You know, like I say, you never quite know what's going to happen when you do a live on your own. You never know about timings. You know, so many times I just think I'm just going to go live. I'm just going to go live, and then you think, oh no, they're on or they're on. It's pointless. At some point, you just have to say, you know what, sod it. So I come up with the idea of having a little breakfast show and doing it before work. Anyone who knows me knows I'm self-employed. So my first job is at 10 o'clock. So I will be going probably 45 minutes if I can talk that long. But it'd be good if you guys can join me. If you're watching it on catch up, yeah, just watch it all the way through. Even if you're not interested, just have it running in the background. That would be amazing. Really trying to get my watch hours up currently. And it's time. It's time to just go live and do it every week. I will probably do a breakfast with Pure Coys on a Wednesday morning because that is the days I don't have to take my little one to school. So I will do a Wednesday morning, definitely probably around 8:30. And I may do another morning as well, but definitely a Wednesday morning going forward. So hopefully this goes well and we can talk Spurs on a Wednesday morning. Let's get the chat up. The few people that are in there, big up to each and every one of you. Big up, Luke. Much love, buddy. Thank you for your support. It's me. And Paul G. Morning, Paul. Hope you're well, buddy. So let's get into what I've come on for, really, and that is talking Spurs and talking Mohamed Kudus, because it looks like we have our man, guys. How are we feeling about this? I am absolutely delighted. I'm not going to lie. It is a great signing for Spurs. It is. Listen, I make no bones. He wasn't my first choice. He definitely wasn't my first choice. I had a list of 4 that I wanted at Spurs, Eze being top, Semenyo I wanted, and Mbeumo. Kudus was on my list, but he was bottom of that list. I'm not going to lie, he was bottom of that list. But the other 3 were never going to come. That's not happened. I'm still kind of hoping for Eze a little bit, but Kudus is a good player. He's an exciting player. He is a player that will get you off your seats and on your feet. And I can't wait to see him in a Spurs shirt. I think it changes our front line straight away, guys. What do you think? Do you think it changes our front line? I really do think that. I'm excited to see what he can bring. He's a great dribbler. He's got a good shot on him. He can cross a ball. I think he's everything that we are missing so far up the top end of the pitch. Let's get a few more chats in. Big up, Krish. Hope you're well, buddy. Big up, Nige. Love the show. Kulusevski and Kudus will be a very good force. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? Because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, where does Kulusevski fit in this team at the moment? Guys, how do you feel? I'm not sure he fits in at the moment. Currently, if we're looking at the team, you've got, I'm guessing Kudus will play on the right, and then you've got Madison in number 10. For me, Madison has to start. So where does Kulu play? He's not going to play off the left. It's going to be interesting, but this is a good thing to have, isn't it? The last thing we want is having to play players and not really being overly keen on them is a good problem to have when you've got Kulusevski, chomping at the bit to get in, and he will get his game time, of course, because he's a top player. Um, yeah, interesting. But spotlight on Spurs Thursday morning, talking Pure Coys. What? Well, exactly, mate. What more can you ask for? But it is going to be a Wednesday from next week. Um, but I hope you're well, buddy. I want to get in contact with you next. I want to maybe do a show with you. So I will give you a text at some point, mate. Vesa or Vlahovic? This is a tough one because I love Vlahovic. I think he's perfect for the Premier League. I think he scored bag for in the Premier League if he can stay fit. That's the one issue I think with Vlahovic is his fitness. But I think he's built for the Premier League. I think he'd do really well. Vissa, I always thought come off the left, but I'm guessing he's a striker. And we're going to look at Vissa's stats in a minute, and also Kudus's as well. But I'll be honest, Krish, I wouldn't say no to either of them. Vissa, I'd love. Vlahovic, I'd love. So I'm just really happy that we've seemingly got Kudus over the line. Let's hope he passes his medical. I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will get his medical done and everything will be okay. But as Spurs fans, we're worriers, right? That's what we do. And until he's holding that Spurs shirt, I will not be too confident that he's joining. But hopefully either tonight or tomorrow morning, we will see him in a Spurs shirt. Um, Chris again is saying Kudus left, Kulusevski right, Matters 10. And absolutely, Frank could play that way. He really could. And that's the thing now. Now we have some options, don't we? And if we can get Vissa as well, we've got massive options. And again, I'll bring up the forward line, the attacking areas in a minute of the players we got, and we will have a look. But yeah, Paul G, I'm with you. Kudos not top of my list, but still a very good signing. Yeah, let's add Vissa and another top player. And yeah, all two decent. I agree. I absolutely agree. If we were to get Vissa or Vlahovic now, um, then and a number six, or not even a number six. I think this number six thing is just a bit. I don't know. Why do we need a number six? But we just need a bloody good midfielder, like a really good midfielder. Not one that does one thing good, but not great at other things. We need an all-round top quality midfielder for me. And I'd be happy. We've got. I heard one. When did I hear? I heard it on some show. I can't remember if it was last night, but just saying our SARS rubbish. Bentancur's rubbish. I think they're all good. I think they're all good players at what they do. Sar's a runner. His legs. He's a really good interceptor. I think he'd make a great number six if he could pass the ball. But the problem is he can't pass the ball. So that counts him out as number six. But he is good at breaking the play up. He's all over the pitch. He's got legs. He's energetic. Bentancur, elegant, good on the ball. I think he's the closest to the all-round midfielder we would need because he does score goals as well. But all our midfielders kind of do one or two things good, but not everything. For me, we need a midfielder who does everything brilliantly. Let me know what you think about that, guys. Lukey, big up, buddy. I'll be in contact. So yeah, let's bring up Visser's stats and Kudus' stats. Let's start with Kudus because he's the man we've got. So this is his stats for all seasons: 65 appearances, 13 goals, and 9 assists. So that is 22 GA in 65 games, which is like 1 goal or assist every 3 games, which you look at it and it's not amazing. Those stats don't jump out and you think, wow, that's fantastic. But, last season he played in a really struggling side. He was played in all different positions, wasn't played in the right or the left, was literally played everywhere. He played in midfield, he played left, he played right, he played as second striker, he played up front. But I think we all know that his best position is probably from the right. Yeah, that's where he scores his most goals. So 65 games and 22 GA, which is like one in every three, and 7 from the bench. So it's not amazing, but it's not terrible either. As for Wissa, let's hope. Let's hope about this guy because I think he's a top player. Wissa, 137 appearances, 45 goals, and 11 assists. So I make that 56 GA in 137 games, which is well under a goal or assist every 3 games. Under that. And you've got to remember, 46 of his appearances have come from the bench. So, who's to say in those 46 appearances from the bench, he might have been 5-10 minutes here and now. So I think the stats are slightly skewed there. So I actually think it's a really good output from Visser. And I think he would make a really good signing for Spurs. Guys, let me know how you're feeling about the possibility of getting Visser. Obviously, it is just rumours. I'm going from what I'm reading on X. And, you know, it's what X is like. Most of it is absolute rubbish, but we can only go with what we can go with. And apparently Spurs and Brentford are meeting for talks this week with regards to Visser. We will see. Okay, Kuda's stats are very underwhelming, but we can look through that as we see. Yeah, with the eyes better. Yeah, and I think we've got to stop looking at stats as I bring stats up. I think stats are difficult to read. They don't really tell you the whole story, do they? If we look at Brennan Johnson's stats, absolutely fantastic. He's an absolute GA machine, isn't he? But you watch him on the eye, and 99% of the time you're shaking your head thinking, you are awful. But he gets the goals, he gets the assists. So stats are difficult. And, we go back in time. If we were to bring up David Ginola's stats, you would look at him and be like, we don't want to touch this guy. He is average, stat-wise. But you watched him, and he was one of the greatest players that Spurs have ever had because he was an absolutely beautiful player to watch. He got you off your seats. He got you on your feet. And for me, I think Kudus might be this guy. He's frustrating at times. He will give the ball away because he will take players on. But more than anything, he is exciting. He is exciting. And I think as Spurs fans, that's what we've been missing. A lot of us love Maddison because he's a kind of player that makes things happen. He gets you off your seat a little bit. But even him, he's been injured a lot and he's been hit and miss at times. So for me, Kudus is a really good start. But let's see if we can add to that going forward. Big up, Rich. Hope you're well, mate. Ghosted, big up. I did, yeah. Wow, let's hope we get Visser over the line. Let's hope we get Visser over the line. Big up, Dan. This is bloody terrifying, mate, going out on my own. I hate it. But, it is what it is. And goes to send big up to the Dan list. Yeah, so all in all, I am pleased that we've got Kudus. I was concerned it was going to drag on for weeks and weeks. It hasn't. We've got our man. Now we need to move quickly. If we can move quickly and get Visser as well, that would be absolutely brilliant. Then I'd be looking at Spurs thinking, we have a really good chance here of actually doing something. Now, when I say doing something, I'm not saying we're going to win any leagues. Of course we're not. Probably not even top 4. But if we can add Visser, if we can have a top-class midfielder, I think maybe we could be looking at challenging for the likes of 6th and 7th, for the likes of Newcastle, Villa. I think then we'd be up against them. But Kudus is a very good start to that. I wanted to bring up the midfield, the strikers, the strike areas that we have. And this is what we have. So we have Solanke, Son, Richarlison, Kudus now, hopefully, Johnson, Kulusevski, Tell, Odegaard, Moore, Solomon, Scarlett, Lancashire, Yang, and Williams, Barnett. Now, obviously, some of them names are never going to get anywhere near the first team. But that is a lot of forward players, isn't it? And let's be honest, probably only 3 or 4 of them are any good, in my opinion. So you got Solanke's son. I'd imagine we're going to keep them. What do you think, guys? We're going to keep both of them. Solanke definitely. Sonny, still, we still don't know, do we? Until we come back from the Asian tour, we don't know about Sonny. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with him. Richarlison, I would let go in a heartbeat. Kudus, obviously, we've just bought. Johnson will stay. Kulu will stay. Tao, we've just signed. Odebear will stay. Moore is going to be an interesting one because I think he may go out on loan. How would you feel, guys, about Moore going out on loan? I wouldn't be against it. I wouldn't be against it. I think he needs game time. So I'd be quite happy for him to go out on loan. Top championship side, get game time, and come back ready for next season. Solomon, I think we're Sal. Scarlett is going to get nowhere near the first team. I think he will probably, I don't know. I think we may keep him, but can't see him getting anywhere near the first team. Lancashire, I think, will almost certainly go out on loan, as will Yang and as will Williams. Barnett, probably. But yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting to see what happens with our front players. I had a bit of a mind block now. I didn't know what was going on. But yeah, guys, what do you think of our front line? Do you think it's obviously with Kudus in, it's stronger now, isn't it? Without a doubt, it's stronger than it was. But you know, I still think we're very short up front. Personally, I think we're very short up front. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a difficult one. It's going to be a difficult one to sort out. But guys, if you haven't already, please like, please subscribe to the channel. If you hit those like buttons, it gets me out to the algorithm. Apparently, this is what I'm told, and you know, gets me to more viewers who may or may not want to see my live stuff. So yeah, that would be fantastic, guys. Let's go back to the comments. Paul G, Richie to go, more loans, Solomon will go, Scarlett we should sell. Yeah, couldn't agree more. I agree with every. It's like we're joined by the minds. I totally agree. I think Richie for me has to go, has to go, because I guess he's a bit of a cult hero, maybe, but for all the wrong reasons. Yeah, you know, he's just a bit. I don't want to sound horrible. This is terrible. It's just a bit weird, isn't it? I don't like his celebration. Um, he works hard. He puts a lot of effort in. I want better than that. I want better than that. So for me, Richarlison needs to go. Um, Ghost is saying left wing still worries me. Yeah, I don't think we're good enough on the left hand side at all. At all. I don't think we're good enough. I think Tao is. Listen, I think Tao's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I think Tao's pretty good. He's decent, but he's not going to get you 20 GA in a season. I don't think. Certainly not next season. I think we need a ready-made left winger out there, or you know, someone like a Grealish. And I know he probably won't get you 20 GA either, but he will. He's a better player than Tao. I wouldn't mind Grealish personally, but yeah, we will see what happens. I think the left-hand side might be done now. I can't see us signing anyone else on the left. I think we have Odebear, we have Tao, we have Sonny if he doesn't go. I think it all depends on Sonny, doesn't it? If Sonny leaves, maybe we might bring another left-sided player in. I'm hearing a lot of people say that Johnson can play on the left. So yeah, we will see. We will see. Rich is saying, I think it makes sense for Sonny to leave. I think Richie should go too. Solomon, I think, would definitely go. Yeah, I agree. I think Richie has to go. Solomon will definitely go. And it absolutely makes sense for Sonny to go. But Willie, that's the question, isn't it? Willie. Um, we will see after the Asian tour, after we get back from, is it South Korea we're going to? So yeah, we will see when we get back from now. I think he may go still, but it'd be interesting. Be interesting to see if we sign anyone before he goes. Can't see it. Spurs don't do that, do they? But we will see. We will see. Rich, how many can be sent on loan now? I think it's about 8. I think you're right. I'm not absolutely 100% sure, but I think it's around the 8 mark. So, we have a lot of players we need to loan out. That's the problem, isn't it? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, Dan saying hi to Rich. Rich saying hi back. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, guys. I think maybe, if we can get Visser in and then add a midfielder. What kind of midfielder are we looking at, guys? What kind of midfielder would you be happy with? I've said when we started the stream that I'm not necessarily thinking we need a number 6, but just an all-round midfielder. An all-round midfielder. Names, I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head. I like the Forest midfielder. I can't think of his name now. The one who was at Newcastle. Help me out in the chat, guys. I like him. I think he's a good player. Elliot Anderson. Is it Anderson? Yeah, I think he's a really good all-round midfielder. Someone like him I would love. I think he's a top player. Obviously a Harvey Elliott, if you're looking for someone who's a bit more classy on the ball. But yeah, there's so many midfielders out there. So many midfielders that we can get that could add to our midfield. Like I said already, I think our midfield is okay. I think we have a lot of players that do one thing really well, but not all things really well. And I want a player that does all things really well. Luke said I like Yao Gomez. Yeah, Gomez, but again, he's another one we've been linked with for like the last couple of seasons. So it'll be interesting if we get linked with him again. I think if we get linked with him again, it just tells me that all the signings we make are club signings. All the signings we make are club signings. But I would like Gomez. I think he's a good player. Audrey, looks like Biz is on his way out. We need to bring someone else in. Polina would be ideal for me as we're looking at a number 6. And yeah, again, just saying Anderson's quality. Anderson is quality. I agree. Totally. Big up audio. We should go move for Hackney. Even Hackney, I like Hayden Hackney. So I like him. He's a good player. Again, no, he's not. I don't know. It's difficult because we signed so many young, talented players. And I know Hackney's 22, is he? 23? So he's not young anymore. But he is still a bit of a gamble, but I do like him. He is someone we should have bought instead of Archie Gray. And I'm going to say it now. I would be quite happy if Spurs sold Archie Gray this summer. I know we're not going to, but it wouldn't bother me because I'll be honest, I don't think he's good enough. I don't think Archie Gray is ever going to be that man. And I may be in the mud in a couple of years, but I'm putting out there now. I don't think Archie Gray is going to be that man. So yeah, Hackney for me should have been a player we bought last season when we bought Gray, and instead, big up Danny. Edison, Fratesi. Edison's top player. Hasn't Fratesi gone somewhere else? Isn't he going somewhere else? I think I heard that in someone else's show. But both top players. People saying hello to each other, which is always nice. So midfield wise is interesting. I'm quite happy with the midfielder that Frank wants. I think he can identify exactly what he wants and trust his decision. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. We have to trust this manager now. We have to get behind him. And I think if Frank wants a player, then get him in. Get him in. It's no good. Every player we sign cannot be a club signing. We have to make signings that the manager wants. And I hate this. Oh, there's a list of 5, and we're not going to get you the first 3, but we get you the 4th choice. No. If the manager wants, I don't know. If the manager wants Hayden Hackney, then go out and get Hayden Hackney for him. There's no excuses. But let's see what happens, guys. Let's see what happens. We definitely need someone in that midfield, though, and not a jack of all trades, master of none. I feel like we've got that in the midfield at the moment. Players that do good bits, but not the all-rounded defender. But guys, we have Kudus over the line. Should he pass his medical? Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. It's one of them, isn't it? Definitely feel like it's one of them where we're like, just get through the medical. Just get through the medical. It'd be so Spursy for him to fail a medical. But hopefully he won't. Hopefully he won't. But exactly, exactly. Big up, Lubo. Hope you are. Hope you're having a good holiday. And Ghosted is saying we still need more English players. Yes, we do, which is why I think the Forest lad would be a really good signing. Like a really good signing. He's a top midfielder. Um, as is, again, Hayden Hackney would be a good signing as well if we're looking for English players. It seems to have gone quiet on the old Carl Walker-Peters news. I did read the other day that Spurs had a meeting about him, but had decided that they weren't going to pursue it. So that's good news, I guess. So what do we do? What do we do about our English quota? We need to bring some English players in. Um, who do we bring in? Who do we bring in? I'm going to act really dumb here. So what is Visser? He's not English. I'm taking it. I'm just saying he's English because he plays in the Premier League. I really have no clue. I haven't looked him up at all. But where do we go? English. Hayden Hackney's English. I take it. Um, Obviously, the Forest lad's English. But as for anyone else, defenders, do we need any defenders that we could get that maybe English? I don't know. We definitely need English players. Unless could we not put some of our young players? I guess we can't because they don't need to be registered, do they? But failing at medical is unfortunately not that common. Exactly, exactly. And I hate to say it, but especially with African players, seem to have a lot of kind of like heart murmurs and stuff like that. So it does worry me that he won't get through a medical. I'm sure he will. I'm absolutely sure he will. Um, Big up, Philly. Hope you're well, buddy. Archie Gray's younger. You know what, Luke? It wouldn't surprise me if we bought him. It really wouldn't. Apparently he's quite handy. But again, I don't want another. I don't want another Gray. This one's bad enough. And I feel bad for Archie Gray because he's not a bad player at all. He's actually, I feel like he's going to be a decent player in years to come. Um, who knows? He may be decent next year, and then I'll have mud on my face again. But we will see. We will see. Carl Walker Peters is English, yeah, and he would sort out the homegrown and the club trained, wouldn't he? But apparently Spurs aren't looking at him at the moment. That might have been just a thing because we're trying to get the Kudus deal sorted out. He might come in now. And you know what? I wouldn't be against it. I know it's laughing. I wouldn't be against it because I think he covers at left back, at right back. What I don't want to see is 5 or 6 signings like Carl Walker Peters. And the fact that we've got in Kudus now is telling me that if we can get in a Visser, if we can get in a top midfielder, then a couple of players that are, you know, challenging squad players, I'm not against personally. Um, yeah. So those Premier League and Europa quota rules are too complicated for me to understand. So I just pretend it's not an issue. Yeah, I'm the same, mate. I have no clue when it comes to that kind of thing. This and finances, just you could talk to me and my eyes would glaze over and I would have no idea what you're talking about. I've been on shows before where some things get talked about and I'm just like, what? And it's so difficult when you're on a live show, especially when you're on a panel show and people are talking, like a question's asked and someone will go in depth into something and suddenly start glazing over, and I'm just like drinking my water. What shall I have for tea tomorrow? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I got that job first thing. I don't really want to do that. Could I cancel it? Could I move it for another day? And then someone's like, "Nice. What do you think?" And I'm like, um, yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree. So anything that comes to finances, Europa quota rules, all that kind of thing, not a clue. I just talk about football. And Yeah. So Wissa was signed from Le Orange in France. So not homegrown. Yeah, he is getting on, isn't he? And yeah, French. I'm guessing he's French. So yeah, that's not that then. Should look to boast in midfield. Skippy or Winks, anyone? Oh, we could get Winks on the cheap now, couldn't we? What a player. I mean, Winks will always be a hero just for that pass against Real Madrid, even if nothing else. And the goal against Fulham, you know? Didn't he scored a beauty, didn't he, in Europa League as well? Was it the Europa League? Or I think it was Europa League. Um, Pretty certain that was a cross, but it was yeah, getting back, homegrown quota. I feel sorry for Skippy. He's just disappeared, isn't he? Disappeared off the face of the earth. Hardly got any game time for Leicester. I actually thought he'd go into Leicester and be one of their mainstays and be their captain. I thought this guy is he's gonna he's gonna take Leicester to the next level. Um, he didn't, obviously, and he's playing Championship football next season, which actually really suits him. I actually think if he gets game time for Leicester next season, or if he moves somewhere else in Championship, I think you'll be looking at a top player because I think he is Championship level. Obviously, that season he had at Norwich, where he got Player of the Year for Norwich, absolutely brilliant. And I thought we all thought he'd come back to Spurs, a top player, and it just didn't quite happen for him. He's not quite Premier League class, is he, Skippy? But yeah, yeah. Good luck to him. He's a Spurs fan. He's Tottenham through and through. So anyone Tottenham through and through, good luck to him as far as I'm concerned. I think Tanganga would be more useful. He probably would. Does anyone know how he did for Millwall? I think he's at Millwall, isn't he? How's he doing there, Nate? Again, another good youngster. Did well, but never quite made the grade. Audio, George Abbott could get a chance. Spent last season playing mainly CDM. Has also played fullback and right back and press and training. Apparently, yeah. Apparently, didn't he win like was it the bleep test or the run where he was yeah? Apparently, he won that. So fair play to him. Not seen a lot of him, to be honest, but he looks, from seeing him in the training videos, he looks like a man. He looks like an absolute tank in there. So I think maybe he might get a chance. Maybe loan him out to a championship side, get him a season in the championship, see how he does. Um, he certainly looks the part. He's a big guy, and yeah, let's see how he does next season. Maybe if he goes out on loan, I agree. With Archie Gray, all I feel is he needs to make in his own time without the unnecessary pressure placed upon. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Philly. Feel a bit sorry for him because he has been brought into Spurs with a massive price tag. I don't think anyone knows what his best position is. Everyone was saying he's a central midfielder. He played hardly any games for Leeds at central midfield. He probably played more games in defence for Leeds than he did in midfield. It's that one game he had against Chelsea, and everyone raves about him being a top class midfielder. We just don't know. He's a young player, and yeah, I agree. I feel a bit sorry for him because there's been a lot of money um, spent on him, and I don't even think Spurs knows his best position. I'm not even sure Archie Gray knows his best position. So let's see how he does this season. Again, if we didn't spend that much money on him, I'd be happy to see him go out on loan. Give him another year, even if it's another Premier League side, maybe. I was going to say a lower table Premier League side. I'm not sure we can get lower than 17th. So yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, maybe a Championship side. There's no way that Archie Gray's going to go out on loan. Not that we spent 40 million on him. That's not going to happen. So it's going to be interesting to see how we play him. And of course, Frank wanted him, didn't he, at Brentford? So if anyone's going to get the best out of him, it will be Frank. And I'm got to be honest, I am so excited about this season because there's I don't want to talk about the old manager. He's gone, done, dusted, did great. Thanks for the trophy, all that. But there's no doubt that we're a better team than 17th. And I'm looking forward to seeing these players under a proper system, under a proper manager, under someone who is tactically inept, not tactically inept, who's tactically aware, not tactically inept. That was the last manager. And it's going to be interesting to see what he does. I can't wait for the season to start. I really can't. I think we're going to have a really good season this year. And I feel like we're gonna finish top 7, definitely. I'm going for top 7. That Kudus thing, it was 8th or 9th. That Kudus deal has just put me up a couple of places. I just think we're gonna be playing some good football now. And guys, how do you feel we're gonna play though under Frank? Because this is an interesting thing. A lot of people who don't watch a lot of football kind of get the impression that Frank is your long ball merchant, get the ball up quickly as possible, you know. Whereas actually, if you watch Brentford, they play out from the back. They were good football inside. They use the wings a lot. Um, they put a lot of crosses into the box. I think this is perfect for Spurs. But how are we going to play? And this is the interesting thing. I think maybe are we going to be more of a counter-attacking side? I feel like obviously Brentford were quite counter-attacking at times, but it was Brentford. You know, Brentford, without being disrespectful to them, are a side that are not a renowned Premier League side, and they're not as strong as a lot of teams in there. So it kind of suited Brentford. I actually think Spurs playing a counter-attacking kind of style won't be bad, especially away from home. Obviously, we can't play counter-attacking at home. I think the fans wouldn't accept it. I think they want Spurs to go forward. But I think away from home, I actually think we could be really dangerous away from home. And I'm looking forward to seeing how Frank sets us up. And Frank usually does pretty well against the top sides. He sets up his Brentford side really well. You know, obviously they lose games. You're going to lose games against top six, but it's very rarely that they get absolutely smashed. I know they lost, was it 6-0 to Liverpool last season, but anyone can do that. We lost 6-3 to them. So it is what it is. Liston saying football finance is possibly the most boring topic a channel can cover. I'm glad Sean Butler is all over it, but dear me, I'd rather watch paint dry. I'm kind of with you on now. Obviously, I don't want to talk about other YouTubers, and Sean Butler is massive, massive. To have it anywhere near his success would be absolutely amazing. But yeah, he's absolutely bossing it at the moment, isn't he? Sean, he's doing brilliantly. And yeah, I just don't understand the finances for me. It's not something that I can focus on. I lose interest really quickly. So it's good that we're just talking about football now. And obviously, sometimes it's really interesting to hear what people feel about the finances and get someone's opinion, because I'd rather listen to someone who knows what they're talking about than someone like me who's like, oh yeah, we're all right with FFP, and you know, and we'll be fine if we spend 100 million on this player. And you know, I did a video the other day about Blajovic, thinking, yeah, get him in. It's an absolute no-brainer. He's 15 million quid. What's wrong with that? 15 million. You know, why can't we spend that? And then you realise he's on like 300,000 euros a week, and you're like, okay, that's why Spurs won't ever get him in, because we can't afford him. Um, Morning all, I am contractually obliged to ask what type of cuppa you are having and why it isn't. Well, I do need to buy some coffee from you, Ben. Big up, by the way, buddy. I've actually got water today because, as I said at the start of the show, I made my cuppa, I put the kettle on. It was a cup of tea because I've already had a coffee this morning at another well-known coffee establishment that I won't go into. But yeah, I made my cup of tea, got it all ready, proper builder's tea, let the tea bag soak for ages, went to the fridge and realised that I'd used the last of my milk on my cornflakes last night, and I forgot to get some this morning. So no cuppa for me today. But next Wednesday, when the next show is, I will definitely have a brew of some sort. And Ben, I'm in London a week Saturday for Sava's barbecue. So I might be able to pick up some coffee then, maybe, if you're about. And I definitely have to order some anyway. So I will, yeah, I'll message you for your details and get some coffee. I like it smooth. I like my coffee smooth. But it's not a cuppa. Yeah, it's definitely not. It's a glasser. I agree. I agree. So guys, I think we're in. How long have I got? I've got about I got about 10 minutes before I've got to go because I've got work. But I am back today later, guys, at 3 p.m., maybe 3:30, because I'm doing a show with the two Marks. We're going to talk football. So yeah, it should be a good show. So join us for that if you can. And Yeah, it should be a good one. Should be a good laugh. I'm not done. Obviously, me and Mark done a stream on Saturday. The lads from the lane, but there was only two of us because the sheriff was asleep. So there you go. Um, cheers, Benny. Cheers, Ben. What's the point? Say morning, morning, buddy. Hope you're well. Garnacho's price has been slashed from 60 million to 45 million. Would you take Garnacho? I would. I'll be honest with you. I'm at that point now where Garnacho's a better player than Tao. He's a better player than I hate to say it more. He's a better player than Yang. He's a better player than anyone else we got out there, and then Odebear. So I'd be quite happy going for Garnacho. I think he has maybe got a bit of an attitude, but I don't know. I think I'm not going to say that because I don't know the guy. He, but there's definitely a player in there, 100%. And if we had the money to spend on another forward player that after Vissa, because I'm hoping we get Vissa as well, then Garnacho. Imagine that Garnacho, Vissa, and Kudus as a front three. Suddenly we're looking at a different side, and we got the likes of Solanke, Sonny, and Johnson on the bench. Suddenly we got a team and a squad, and we're going, okay, we're half decent now. Um, yes, do it, Ben. Bring like a lorry full. Just pull up in a van or something. Just and we can do business at the back of the van. That sounded so wrong. But I wouldn't put it past Levy to get Diblin for 30 million. His price has been halved. I think Diblin's a no. I absolutely think we would get Diblin. I think we sign. I think Diblin, if it's not Visa, I think Diblin's our next signing. Am I against that? No, because I think he's going to be a top player, but he's another one going to be a top player. Um, yeah, Garnacho is brilliant 20-year-old who'll grow of age. Yeah, it's hard to disagree with it. I do like Garnacho. I just think I think he's the kind of player that you love if he's in your team. If he's not in your team, you kind of hate him because he just always looks like he's moaning. I don't know, but he is top player without a doubt. Henderson has left Ajax. Would you take him on a free? No, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I think Jordan Henderson. No, I can't stand watching him for England, so I wouldn't want to see him playing for Spurs. I really wouldn't. Morning, Dad. Morning, son. I hope you had a good time in Amsterdam. I need to text you because I need you to do me a favour today, if that's possible. Let me know if you're working, because if you're not, I might need you to do the school run for me. I bet you're glad you come though. Spine of the team has to be intellectual, aligned with the brain. Wingers are just runners who hopefully have good cross on them. Yeah, to a point. I get that. I get it. I get it. But Johnson's just a runner. And nobody wants him in the side because he doesn't take on his man. Liston saying Dibbling is a no for me, but on the other hand, I said the same about Gordon when he was at Everton. Yeah, I said the same about Gordon as well. Don't want him at Spurs. Not for me. He's gone to Newcastle. Now I'm like, oh, I'd love him at Spurs. Absolutely love him. Dibblins, I think, is a really exciting player, but it's just again, is one of those young ones, isn't it, that we're taking a gamble on, and we don't actually know if he's going to be any good or not. But I take Dibblin. I think this is what Spurs do, and this is what Levy is really clever at. He signs like really average crap players. Like I'm being harsh on Tal. Okay, really average players like a Danzo, and Danzo's okay, solid enough, good defender, but again, not one that excites. It's not a Tap Sober or someone like that. And then he goes out and gets Tal because he was on loan, and we had him last season, and they were like, they're all right, but nothing exciting. We finished 17th with them in the squad. And then he goes out, and obviously we signed Kudos, but then they go out and get a Diblin or someone like that, and you're. Whereas before these signings, you would have been like, no, I don't want a Diblin. I want someone really good. He will go out and get a Diblin because we're so desperate for some quality. We'll be like, actually, Diblin could be the man. He could be the one going forward. For me, Diblin, I'm not against it, but he's the kind of player I'd buy and send him straight back out on loan. Loan him out again for another season. But again, we got 30, 40, 50 million to do that. I don't think we have. So I think as a player, we might have to say no to and hope that he doesn't become the player that I think he might become, if that makes sense. Charlie, Yeah, no worries. I'm working to 6. Oh, thank you, buddy. You've done me an absolute solid there, mate, because I have a show at 3 with the 2 marks. So I'll leave the front door open. You just come straight in with her. I see greatness for Diblin. He glides past players. He just needs work on his composure, but that comes of age. Again, yeah, it's one, isn't it? You know, it's another one of them. If we hadn't assigned other youngsters, if we hadn't assigned a Yang, if we hadn't assigned a Gray, I'd be all up for the likes of Hackney, the likes of Diblin. But I just think we've got enough at the moment that it's all players we have are a bit of a risk. So we're signing more risks for more money. Just not quite for me. I don't know. I wouldn't be against it, but again, I'm not pushing for it. Side dancer, big up side dancer. Hendo would be good at Leeds. I agree. I actually think some of the teams that are coming up are making some really good, decent signings. You know, Sunderland going out there. They made a couple of good signings already, haven't they? Had a fee agreed for the Brighton lad, Dingra. I think he's a top player, really good player. I would have liked him at Spurs, and he's going to Sunderland. I mean, maybe going to obviously whether it goes through or not is another question. But Sunderland are doing their best to stay up. Leeds United have signed a couple of good players, and yeah, I agree. I think Henderson for Leeds, absolutely perfect for what Leeds need. An experienced winner, England national, who's been there, seen it, done it, not only in the Premier League but in Holland. Um, and of course in the Champions League. But Hendo for Leeds, I actually think Henderson's bang on now to go back to Sunderland. I think he will 100% guaranteed you now. I think Henderson will go back to Sunderland, but we'll see. But we'll see. Agreed. We have a lot of wingers, but too many that cut it. Too many that cut in for me, which is yeah. And that's the thing. But that's the thing with so many teams now, isn't it? So many teams play with wingers that are opposite footed to where they play. So you'll have a left winger who's right footed, just so he can cut in and put balls in or shoot. We have, you know, right wingers that are left footed. Look at Kudus. He's coming in. We're all thinking he's going to be a right winger because that's where he gets his most output from. But he's left footed. So he's going to cut in a lot and use his left foot to either put crosses in or shoot. But again, that adds to the excitement because then you got overlapping fullbacks like a Porro, like a Udogi, who then can overlap and get balls in. So I'm not against players using their other foot on the wing, but I think you're right. I think a lot of teams play this way now. Bergvall is going to cook this season. Mark my words. Yeah, I'm excited to see Bergvall this season. I think he's slowly turning into a man. I don't know whether any of you guys watched the training videos the first day back and he saw players come back and it was lovely to see. But when you saw Bergvall walk in the room and walk in, he just from just seeing him from last season to walking into preseason training, suddenly he looked like a man. And I'm like, wow, you could really cook this season. I agree. I think Bergvall is one player I'm really looking forward to seeing. Hopefully he has a great season. Big up SMX. Feel free to like the stream. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. It really would mean the world, guys. I have got to go because I've got work. Boo. That sucks. But thank you for joining me, guys. I will leave it there. I've really enjoyed it. So I will be coming back on a Wednesday. Probably about 8:30 every Wednesday for an hour. So join me next week, guys. Have a great day. And of course, join us later at 3:00. I'm with the 2 Mark show. Again, we'll be talking Tottenham. Hopefully, we might have some more transfer news by then. But guys, have a great day. I'll just read this out. I think we need Simons and Ruiz. Ruiz, I would love. Ruiz, I would love. I would leave it on now. I think Ruiz is a top player. But yeah, take it easy to you too, mate. And thank you for your support. I'm noticing your comments in my video, so I really do appreciate it. Guys, have a great day, and I'll see you at 3:00. And as always, stay positive, stay poised, and stay Pure Coys. Brought us joy at the beautiful lake.